Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Thursday it is, April the 6th. How are you today? Hope all is well in your world. We begin this day at 65. No, we're going to warm up quite a bit. We'll go to 83 before it's all said and done. We'll take a look at radar in a moment, show you where the storms are. Don't forget before you walk out the door, you're going to need an umbrella. Rain is coming, 60% chance in the forecast, depending upon how you look at it and where you do it. National Weather Service has it at 50. My radar system has it at 60% for today. I'm going to lean towards 60%, most likely coming in right after 11 o'clock today. So it gives you a little bit of time to get prepared for what's coming in. It's not going to stop until about Sunday morning. So we've got showers for the rest of the week. It's going to be a muddy one. Hope you had a chance to dust off your grass before this hit, because you won't be able to get it much after this for a few days. Right now, it's 65, as I mentioned. Let's go to Collinsville. Check in at the church. Brother Paul's got a word for us. It's sort of about the return. Let's see what he's got to say today.
A couple of Sundays ago, my wife and I were standing out on our back porch trying to see if we had any damage from the storms just a few minutes before. The power was out and it was very dark. All of a sudden, lightning came from all directions. It was both spectacular and frightening at the same time. The next day, I spoke to some other people who said they saw the same thing at the same time we saw it. It was visible for miles around. In Matthew 24:15 through 28, Jesus continues to tell his disciples what it will be like just before his glorious return. Many of the events of that time will be terrible times of destruction and judgment that no one would ever want to be a part of. Then, speaking of his return, Jesus says in verse 27, "For as lightning that comes from the east is visible even in the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man." The second coming of Jesus Christ will be, as one writer describes, unquestionably public. When he returns, it will be as visible as lightning from the east is visible even in the west. It will be impossible to miss him, and his return is a great hope for everyone who has trusted in him as their Lord and Savior, because he will return in victory and reign as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. He will return. Don't forget that. Easter Sunday is coming up, and if you don't have a church, there's probably one within, probably 10, 15 minutes of where you live. In most cases here in the Deep South, it's that way. And if you live out further than the South and it's a little bit further drive, it's well worth it to attend church this Sunday morning. I hope you will. Maybe it'll catch on. You'll want to do it weekly, sometimes twice a week. It's a good thing. Find out what all the talk is about. Be good for you. Well, as we begin this morning, I look at a few headlines that are shaping the nation this morning. We've all heard of Cash App. You've seen that here on your cell phone, where you can transfer money to one another pretty easily. The founder of that was so worried about crime in San Francisco that he moved. He did. He went back for a visit. He was killed. It's horrible as we read that this morning there. He was stabbed to death. Awful, awful. Worried about it. Moved, came back for a visit, and it got him in the end. Horrible to even think of that. Now, I'm sure most of you knew this, but for some reason it just never registered. Maybe it was because this man never just really made the headlines a lot. Not like the other Kennedys, but Robert F. Kennedy, who you all know was shot and killed in a hotel. Never hear about his kids much. Well, his son says he's going to rattle Biden's cage and run for presidency. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., which would be Bobby Kennedy's son, is going to run against Biden, he says. I'm sure that a lot of y'all knew that, but I just had forgotten that he existed. I hadn't seen him in the headlines in forever, but that's what's coming in the storms awaiting Biden. It probably won't shake Biden a bit, but we'll see. Have you read this about the lady that, maybe she got tired of her husband? She's been indicted. She was a California dermatologist. She was slowly poisoning. She's accused, let me word it that way, she's accused of slowly poisoning her husband with liquid Drano. She's been indicted over the crime. Man, how bad is that? That's just awful. Get a divorce if you don't like someone. Don't kill them. An Ohio school bus driver making headlines this morning because of bullies. I don't know if you've read this story or not. They just keep on and on and on to where she eventually stopped the bus. They knew she had allergies and were spraying perfume to make her allergies go wild. They even made a T-shirt about her because she stopped the bus and, well, more or less took matters into her own hands. Bullies can't be tolerated. We all know that. You even hear of it locally. It does happen. We'll touch more on that as well. As we begin our morning, what is it? Already 6:37 as we start this day. Let's get into our forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Hello, my name's Kenneth Graham, and I'm running for coroner of Lauderdale County. For over 50 years, Lauderdale County's been represented by professional and competent coroners. I would like to continue that tradition. Over the next several months, I want to educate the public on what the coroner does and dispel any myths about the coroner job. I can show you that I will be the most professional coroner there is. So please vote for me August the 8th.
Paid for by the Committee for the Election of Kenneth Graham. Let's cut straight to the chase and show you radar. I can't speak good this morning, can I? We've got a little bit of fog south of the Meridian area, right southern portion of Lauderdale County, starting out of the airport. Let's turn on some locations and look at what we've got. If you're coming out of Clark County, it's a lot of fog there this morning. Anywhere past MCC South, out by the airport, as you go out by the Evangel Temple, even all the way out here to the areas around Long Creek Ball Field, just making shy of reaching out here to southeast, but it could be a little. Don't forget Stuckey's Bridge as you go south. This will stretch pretty much the entire county, all across Enterprise, going all the way down to Quitman, Manassas area, and even all the way down to Carmichael. So be careful in these areas if you've got to travel this morning. Leave it a little bit early so that you can get where you're going without any problems. As we back out to show you where the rain is this morning, a little bit picking up in Seminary this morning around Columbia, Mississippi, some showers. As we move to our northwest out of here, Rolling Fork, where the work continues to clean up this morning. Rain there, Belzonia getting wet this morning, all the way up through Water Valley, Grenada, these areas there, New Albany getting wet. So it will come our way as we look back out here to our west in Texas. We're expecting showers to arrive in our area somewhere around 11 o'clock today. There's a 50 to 60% chance of showers depending upon where you're standing in the state of Mississippi or Alabama. But mark my word, you will get wet before it's over. So carry an umbrella, have it handy so you'll know what's going on and it won't mess up that hairdo or that new shirt you bought. Y'all know how that works. You get wet and you have to stay at work the rest of the day. It just isn't fun, is it? So go prepared today. All right, as we roll back and let's check our record highs, our record lows. It was 1955 that we had a high of 88. The record low was 28 in 1891. Jeff Lewis, I see you're up. Good to see you, my friend there. Connie Johns joins us. Rain in that forecast as we look at today. Now, depending upon how you look at this, it's going to be somewhere between 78 to 83. The National Weather Service leaning a little bit higher. Our radar system says it's going to be a little bit cool. We'll look at the exact here in a minute. This is the latest that we just got in from the National Weather Service where they were saying 83 a minute ago. We'll pull ours up in a second. As we look to Birmingham, 83 according to the National Weather Service. Even over to Troy, Alabama, 89 in Montgomery. Now, as we look here, what is going to happen over the next little bit, flash flooding in between now and Friday. As we'll see this. Now, the worst of this will be Philadelphia, northwestern Newton. Even Kemper County will get its fair share. Lauderdale, not so much, but all surrounding counties north and west of Meridian is going to get a lot of rain. Flash flooding is possible, so be careful. Keep it in mind between now and Friday. Look at these temperatures as we look across this for the next 6 to 10 days. It's warm weather for the deep south, even up that eastern coastline. Now, as we mentioned, here's the outlook. Our forecast calls for 83 today, some calling for 78 to 79. We'll stick with this 60% chance of rain tomorrow, increasing to 70% Friday and Saturday. Weekend events will get wet, but by Sunday, it's all backing out. You'll get to go to church dry. Isn't that nice? Back to work on Monday with a high of 69 as we slowly start seeing it jump from 69 to 75 to 80 by next Wednesday, by midweek, it'll feel like summertime. And as we jump on into this, look at this. All the way through April the 20th, we see 85, 86, 88. Could we be hitting 90s before we even make it to the month of May? We could. Wow. It's going to be a warm one for us there. Cornbread, good morning there. Nick Dial joining us. Good to see you there, my friend. As we look at the best times to fish today, Chet tells us head out. Major time today is going to be 1 o'clock until about 3 o'clock this afternoon. It may be wet when you're trying to do that, so be careful what you're doing and never fish in the lightning. Just doesn't turn out so good. It really doesn't. Watch that there. We've got the morning show kicking off here in just a few moments. Lots to talk about and to discuss what's going on over the last 24 hours. Rewards are being offered for burglaries. Whoa. Do you know who it is? We'll show the video this morning here. Make sure to join us so you can see all of that. Plus, we'll talk about what went on in and around the downtown area yesterday. It's all coming up this morning beginning at 7. It's the fastest hour on television. But you can watch it right here on your phone, on YouTube, or on Facebook. Either way, we just want you to be a part of what we do each and every day. Can't do it without y'all. Y'all make it happen day in, day out there. Cliff Gardner, good morning there. Penelope, good to see you. Good morning. So let me see who else is joining us. Dot, morning. Miss LaWanda is up. So is Patty. Miss Becky Vickers, good morning to you. Janice, I see you. Bob McNeese. So many of you up and at 'em today. Let's make it a great day. Again, you're not going to get wet walking to the car just yet, but carry the umbrella. You'll need it by lunchtime. That's what we've got. Again, currently right now, 65 at Key Field as we begin this day. We'll be back soon to kick off the morning show.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.